Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Ain't Nobody Squeaky Clean. And as always, I appreciate you for joining the podcast. Been getting a lot of great feedback this past week, so I'm hoping this new week will continue that trend. It's always good to hear from the people that actually listen to the podcast because you never know how it turns out until you get some feedback. So I really appreciate it. And I hope that you guys continue to listen and learn. So today I want to talk about something that often gets lost in translation every single year, and that's Memorial Day. For many people, Memorial Day means three things: a day off of work, cookouts, and the unofficial start of summer. And look, there's nothing wrong with enjoying time with your family. There's nothing wrong with grilling burgers, sitting by the pool, or taking a vacation. But somewhere along the way, we forget what this day was actually built for. Memorial Day is not Veterans Day. Memorial Day is specifically about honoring the men and women who never made it home, the ones who sacrificed everything, the ones who left behind mothers, fathers, wives, husbands, children, brothers, sisters, and friends. The ones who raised their right hand and accepted a level of risk most people could never fully understand. And whether you agree with every war, every political decision, or every administration, the reality is this: the people who died serving this country deserve respect, period. Because freedom has never been free. That phrase gets repeated a lot, but think about what it really means. Every freedom we casually enjoy today, the ability to speak freely, I know that's at risk, but we still have it right now. The ability to vote, we still have that also. Travel, start businesses, worship how we choose, live the lives that we want. All of that came with a cost, paid by somebody else, which is more the reason why we need to protect those rights. Somebody stood in danger so somebody else could sleep peacefully at night. Somebody missed birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, and graduations. And some families got the knock on the door they hoped would never come. That is what Memorial Day is about. It's remembrance, it's gratitude, it's perspective. And honestly, I think one of the most important things we can do on Memorial Day is slow down long enough to appreciate how blessed many of us truly are. Because we live in a world now where everybody is rushing. Everybody's angry, distracted, or online arguing about everything. Meanwhile, there are graves filled with people who would give anything to have one more ordinary day, one more barbecue with the family, one more laugh, one more sunrise. That should humble all of us. Memorial Day should also remind us to support the people who are still here carrying invisible burdens: Gold Star families, veterans, military spouses, children who grew up without parents because of service. Sometimes the war ends overseas, but continues emotionally at home. That sacrifice doesn't disappear after the funeral. Some families carry it forever. So if you know somebody who served, if you know a military family, if you know someone who lost someone, reach out, say thank you, check on them, listen to them. Sometimes respect doesn't require a grand gesture. Sometimes it's simply remembering. And for the younger generations listening to this, please understand this: patriotism doesn't mean pretending America is perfect. No country is perfect. But patriotism means appreciating the sacrifices that allowed us to even have the opportunity to improve things. It means respecting service, respecting sacrifice, respecting history. Because if we forget the people who gave everything, eventually we start taking everything for granted. And that's dangerous. Memorial Day is also about legacy. Every person who died in service had dreams. They had goals, families, plans. They had favorite songs, favorite foods, inside jokes. They were human beings. Not statistics, not headlines, not names carved into stone. Real people. And the greatest way we honor them is by living meaningful lives ourselves. Be a good father. Be a good mother. Be a good friend. Help people. Lead with integrity. Build something worthwhile. Don't waste the opportunities somebody else sacrificed to protect. That's one of the greatest forms of respect we can give. So, yes, enjoy your family this Memorial Day. Laugh. Eat good food. Rest. Smile. But somewhere during the day, pause for a moment and reflect. Pray for the families who are hurting. Remember the fallen. And teach your children why this holiday exists. Because remembrance matters. And if we stop remembering sacrifice, we eventually stop appreciating freedom. Thank you to every family who has paid the ultimate price. This country owes you more than words could ever express. And to everybody listening, have a safe Memorial Day weekend. Yes, it's become a weekend now. Love your people, appreciate your freedoms, and never forget why this day exists. I've had many members of my family who have served in the military. I've had distant cousins that didn't make it home, that I never met from, they were from years and years ago. But I've had a grandfather who did make it home and a father and uncle who both made it home as well. So I've heard the stories about the people that they lost, the friends they lost, and, how great of a person so and so was, and such a shame that this happened. So we can't take for granted the sacrifice that people have made along the way to give us these opportunities that we have had. But it's also important that we continue to fight to keep them and not let any of these liberties be taken away. Because people lost their lives for us to have them. Happy Memorial Day weekend to you guys. And as always, this is Ain't Nobody Squeaky Clean. I hope you have a blessed day and a blessed week. And I'll talk to you soon.